Good evening, everybody. It has been a long wait. The wait is over, though. It has been a long 254 days, but your UW Stevens Point Pointers are back playing hockey at the KB Willet Arena, where they take on number 4 ranked St. Norbert, the Green Knights, here in the home opener. I am Jacob Spoerl. Joined here to my left is the Brett McNamara. And if you're watching this online, video is brought to you by Pointer Studios on YouTube, with audio brought to you by WWSP 90 FM. Brett, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great, Jacob. I love the atmosphere here at the KB Willet Arena. It's going to be a great night, Jacob, and I am so excited to be back for some more Pointers hockey.
We are getting started right off the rip as the Pointers seemingly win the faceoff, but St. Norbert takes over in their defensive side of the ice. As they advance, quick advance, we'll talk about starting rosters here in a minute. Already trouble on the defensive side for the Pointers as they try to get the puck out of there on the near side of the ice. Shot is wide to the left of the net. Green Knights recollect, and now the Pointers will take it.
Yeah, I love that first defensive possession there from the Pointers. They're going to have to play great defense tonight if they want to get this win. They come in at 2-2 overall. St. Norbert 3-1, so they're going to have to stop St. Norbert from moving to 4-1 on the season.
Proctor, the starting goalie, already seemingly a little out of position there on that advancement, but he readjusts in his net. And really quickly, as the play is happening, I'm going to talk about our starting lineup tonight. Our 3 forwards for the Pointers are Hunter Hastings, Quentin Hill, and the freshman Cody Pisarczyk. With the 2 starting defensemen are Blake Norris and Michael Eftimovsky. Tonight's starting goalie in his senior season is the Alex Proctor, a dear friend of ours. And Brett, I'll give you a second and a little bit here to talk about St. Norbert's starting roster tonight, but they are heavy on the offensive side of things.
Yeah, the Pointers got to get this puck out of the defensive zone. Way too much time here for St. Norbert to get a shot going.
Shot is off, and Proctor gloves it. Nice save to start it off. In his senior season, that was Logan Dombrowski with the shot. He is a junior and also former Stevens Pointer. I mean, he's not from the university, but he grew up here in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. We already got a penalty to start off, and that is number 26 as he heads to the box for the Pointers. It was Owen Dean. So already St. Norbert has the advantage.
Yeah, nice power play opportunity here for St. Norbert, and this is where they're going to have to capitalize if they want a chance to get some points on the board early.
Recollected by TJ Kaufs. Pointers trying to get it out of there. Curtis Hammond has something to say about that. Trying to get it out of the zone. In the face-off circle. Past the net. Shot attempt for Kristen. Puck is out in front, but it goes back. There to make it stay alive for the Green Knights' offensive possession is Jack Kristen.
Pointers back to full strength now.
It was a quick penalty, but we are back to evened out action. Pointers need to get out of there.
Yeah, it's been on the Pointers' defensive side quite a while, as now St. Norbert takes it once again.
Curtis Hammond has to come back on the puck. A lot of physicality there behind the net. Shot is wide. Attempted shot was from Mark Snar. No icing will be called. Brett, do you want to give us a quick look at tonight's St. Norbert starters?
Yeah, St. Norbert's going to go with the junior out of Stevens Point. You mentioned it, Logan Dombrowski. Along with him is Braden Beam, the freshman from Waupun, Wisconsin, Jackson Riley, and then on the defensive side, Jack Christian, Brian Gilman, and then in between the posts is Hunter Garvey, the junior out of San Diego, California.
Defense for the Pointers has to get it out of there. Back coming around and behind the net. Collected there by Morris for the second. And then icing is waved off.
Yep. And Garvey, not much action for him. Pointers have not done anything offensively. It's been mostly defense. They got to get it out of there. It's way too much time.
Shot wide. Proctor was ready to make the save. Here's a setup attempt. Puck is in the air, and it lands. Try to be collected there by Alex Johnson, the junior for the Pointers. But our first icing will be called of the night. And, man, you know, you get used to calling sports like football and basketball. You forget the sheer speed of a game like hockey.
Oh, yeah, hockey's back and forth all the time. A new player has the puck, every second or so. It really is. I mean, you got to be aware on your feet, Jacob. I'm glad to be up here in the booth with you for our first game of the season, and we got a lot more to come.
Face-off circle, temporarily won by the Green Knights. Curtis Hammond trying to get to the puck. Right now, Quentin Hill. Alec Hamady gets it around the pass. And the Pointers offense will advance. Alex Johnson trying to get it away. Here's a shot. Wide of Garvey. He was ready to make the save either way. And here comes the Green Knights.
Yeah, Proctor can't be – he's got a lot of stamina right now, but it's going to keep on decreasing and decreasing if St. Norbert has this much of an offensive push the whole game.
So far on these first couple of minutes, the Green Knights have dominated in terms of possession. They have owned the puck. Defense is standing strong. Past the red line. Here comes Markham. Shot is good! The Pointers start off this season 1-0.
And sure enough, Jacob, Chris Engelberg, Liam Stats' man. Oh my goodness. The Pointers get on the board early here on Chris Engelberg, the sophomore out of Whitney, Ontario, I believe.
Oh my goodness. Chris Engelbert already having himself a season, leads the team in goals, is tied for the lead in points scored. He is having himself an incredible season, and he continued it right there. That was his 4th goal of the season. And good way to start in front of the Pointers home crowd. I mean, we mentioned already, Green Knights have dominated in time of possession, but the Pointers still able to score.
And that's all you need, Jacob. Just, those couple seconds inside the zone. Great passing to get in there. And Chris Engelberg finishes it off for the Pointers to make it 1-0 with 15 minutes left to go in this first period.
Here comes the Green Knights. Puck behind the net. Pointers were ready for it. Here they come on the offense. Cross-ice pass. Collected by Randall as the puck escapes. Still in Pointer territory. But St. Norbert's going to clean it up and get out of there.
Yeah, nice job there by St. Norbert. I mean, you give up a goal, it kind of brings the morale of a team down, but so far after that goal, St. Norbert has played great defense.
Gilman sent it down the ice, but Proctor sends it all the way back into Green Knights territory. Puck behind the net, St. Norbert's side of the ice. Pointers handling the puck, but now St. Norbert takes it over, and they're going to get it out of there.
And this just shows a lot about this team, the fight and the effort that they put forth. I mean, lots of defensive plays so far, but, just like I mentioned, all it does is take a couple seconds on the offensive zone and really putting that pressure on them.
Dayton Deeks got the punt poked away from him. Almost a poke check from Alec Hamady. But now the Green Knights coming in hot. From behind the net. Trying to collect. And that was Jackson Riley who had the puck for the moment at the blue line. Back behind the net as it goes around the rink. Substitutions made for the Green Knights. And now some subs will be made for the Pointers. Cross-ice path towards the net. It is wide. And here come Stevens Point.
Nice offensive push here. Let's see what they can do with it.
And that is Joseph Manning. Puck goes back to Raegan. Here's the shot. And it was stopped by the defenseman for St. Norbert. As they take the puck, trying to get it out of their own zone, and they do.
Yeah, Cody Bazarchuk had a great chance to make it 2-0. Unfortunately, there's a lot of St. Norbert defensemen. It's a broken stick now for the Pointers.
And here come the Pointers, catching St. Norbert out of whack. It's Raegan. And he is the extreme defender for tonight's game, but he's already out on the ice. Shot attempt, went behind the net. Had a chance at it. That was Michael Eftimovsky, one of the starters. Eftimovsky fighting for it, so is
yeah, we got a board
Markham.
battle right here.
And here comes the puck. Morris will collect. Here's the pass. Cross-ice pass is short of his man. He wasn't ready for it. St. Norbert will take it over. Here comes their offensive possession. Seemingly only one man to beat, but had to step back to make an adjustment. Here's the shot. Goes off the pad of Proctor. It is no good. St. Norbert trying to make something out of this possession. Here's the shot, and it is saved by Proctor. It was lost in space near the face-off circle. One Green Knight broke away. I believe that was Logan Dombrowski. Had it straight, shot down the middle. Proctor made the save.
Yeah, going back to that last offensive possession for the Pointers, they just missed the pass to Chmielewski right across the middle. A little too fast for that puck there. I just want to see a little bit better passing from the Pointers on the offensive side, but overall, they're playing great both ways. I mean, defensively, like I mentioned, a lot of the time, it's been St. Norbert on the offensive side, but so far, so great.
And here's out of the face-off circle. Pointers win this one, and they're taking it out. Staying down the side of the rink, straddling the side of it, goes past the defender. Here comes the Pointers by way of Gino Colangelo. Colangelo and another Pointer was in on it, and a glove was lost on the ice, and that was Gabe Randall's glove. He is a freshman out of Hortonville, Wisconsin, making his first start in front of this Pointer home crowd.
And it looks like it's going to be the first power play opportunity of the night for the Pointers. Going to the to the box. I couldn't quite tell. I believe it was number 27, Brian Gilman, the defenseman, the junior out of Orange, California. They really do a lot of recruiting over in California. But
they do.
Yeah, we're going to see what the Pointers could do here on the power play opportunity.
Chmielewski in the face-off circle. Pointers will take it on the power play. Setting up a shot. Has to back up. Chmielewski. Over to Hintz. Hintz trying to get out of there. Gets it across. It's behind the net.
Not the smartest of passes there. Getting to the boards makes it difficult for the Pointers. I mean, power play, you only got so much time to get something going at least.
Chmielewski back there. Trying to set up something new. It's over in the middle. Now in the face-off circle. Shot attempt. And it's stolen away by St. Norbert. Alex Proctor has the puck. Sends it across the ice. Pointers have a shot attempt.
Offsides.
But it is offsides called against the Pointers. And that is the first one of those calls tonight, Brett.
Yeah, they tried to get it up quickly to Camden Markham, the freshman. But unfortunately, Sean Bunting was offsides. He just couldn't get across that blue line quick enough. And now a shorthanded attempt with St. Norbert on the offensive side. You're just going to see him probably quickly give it up to Stevens Point, get back on defense.
Out of the face-off circle on the Pointer side of the ice. Pointers take over, have possession. And here they come on offense. Cross-ice path as we take it past the red line. Here it goes to Alex Johnson. Sets it up, going around the side of the rink. Back behind the net of St. Norbert. Once again, trying to get something going. Alec Hamady. Setting up a shot. Here's Alex Johnson. Cross-ice pass. Shot! Up into the rafters and falls down. So we still have 51 seconds left on the Pointers power play. They got to take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to be a little bit too fancy here during this power play. I mean, you just got to make it simple. It comes down to the little things. Just nice little passes. They're trying to do way too much, get it inside. And a lot of the times it's gone to the boards. The Pointers just need to step up their power play a little bit more.
It is Quinton Hill and Logan Dombrowski in the faceoff circle. Now they take Dombrowski out and replace him with Calvin Hansen. Pointers have the puck as they set up a shot. 45 seconds left on the power play. Pointers still trying to set something up. Backwards pass. Out of the faceoff circle. Shot attempt is poked away by Dombrowski. He has been the so far the offensive and defensive MVP for the Green Knights in this one. Even though the Pointers have the lead, they got a chance. Nice move. Back to Owen Dean. Trying to find something. Gets it out. Set up shot. And it is wide. Coming around the ice is Owen Dean again. O'Brien had the puck. Pass it over behind the net. Trying to come in and out. Shot attempt is blocked. Substitutions need to be made. Alex Johnson has the puck now for the Pointers. Backwards to Colangelo. Gino Colangelo gets overpowered. Johnson cross-ice pass. Backwards. And the power play has ended. We are all evened out. Huge hit there behind the net as St. Norbert finally takes over. Coming in with haste.
Nice big hit there from Cooper Morris, the junior out of Anchorage, Alaska, up against the boards. Big hit, and that kind of forced the Pointers' offensive unit to go away.
Big crash. Puck neared the red line. Nice move made, but the Pointers still have the puck. They want to get it out of there, though. It'll go behind the net. As Cody Pisarcek, one of tonight's starters, gets the puck to the red line, but St. Norbert has it. Pass down the near side. Proctor out of his net, behind it, has to get back in front, and he makes the catch in his glove. And wow, there was already some smack talk between the goalie and I believe it is number 28, Matthew Schulmeister, for St. Norbert as we head to immediate timeout here. Honestly, a mixed game, but for how good St. Norbert has been playing this season, you'll love to see it for the Pointers, up 1-0 with under 9 minutes to go here in the first period.
Yeah, 8:52 left to go in this first period. I mean, the Pointers so far offensively, they've been playing great. They've been moving the puck pretty good here. I mean, a little bit not great during that power play. I want to see a little bit more movement. They're getting a little too fancy with it. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, overall, they've been playing great defensively. St. Norbert's been a lot of shots. They've been really shooting at Proctor. They're getting through that defense. Proctor's going to have to step up his game tonight if he wants the Pointers to win. So with like I mentioned, 8:52 left, I think the Pointers offense just got to keep on doing what they're doing defensively. Don't change anything.
And right before that save was made by Alex Proctor, he was out of his zone. He was behind the net dangerously, as he did a lot last year in his junior season. He went behind the net, shot the puck out of there, but St. Norbert has watched film. They were ready for it. So Alex Proctor got barely back into the zone in front of the net to make the save. Was it risky? Yes. It ended up working, but you don't want to see those plays too often, as for the moment, the Green Knights win in the face-off circle. On the near side of the ice, down the wall, puck in front of the net. Defenseman trying to get it out of there. Still behind the net. Where's the puck? Back at the face-off circle. St. Norbert trying a different type of offensive attack. Now on the far side of the rink, straddling the yellow. They're still trying to get at this puck. It is a dogfight. The puck's finally slipped free, but here's a shot attempt. It is wide of the net, and Proctor makes the glove save.
Yeah, Chris Engelberg had the goal for the Pointers to make it 1-0, but defensively he's been playing great as well. I mean, he's basically Alex Proctor's right-hand man down there.
Yes.
So great job there from Chris Engelberg, playing both ways. But yeah, Alex Proctor's been playing great so far. He's really aware where the puck's been so far on the St. Norbert offensive side.
We see number 18 for St. Norbert there in the face-off circle, Curtis Hammond. And he wins it for the Green Knights. Still on the near side of the rink. Shot attempt straight to the pads of Proctor and makes the glove. And there's some smack talk. Of course, you see it a lot after a play ends. We haven't seen a lot of extracurricular activity, though. No hands yet.
We've seen a few big hits, Jacob, across the boards. I mean, I just mentioned one before for St. Norbert. I mean, Cooper Morris had a big hit for the pointer on the Pointers, so we're going to see a lot of that. I don't know if there's going to be any fights breaking out, but we'll see.
Puck is up in the air and lands in the penalty box. You're all good. It was a quick face-off circle. I'm not sure who you could give that victory to, but right after the face-off circle, puck went up in the air and out of play.
Yeah, we've had a few close calls up here a few times. I know there was one a couple of years ago, I would say, that came all the way up here. Liam Stats always mentioned it about that story.
I have that story. It was actually last season. The puck came into the broadcast booth. It almost hit me. I had to duck. I was doing color commentary for that game, but we hold that as a trophy and souvenir from that game. It is in our studio in the CAC. Right now out of the face-off circle. Fighting for the puck. And Dayton Deeks got thrown down. Pointers are finally able to escape the zone. At least they hope. The defenseman set it up. Get it out to Pisarcek. Goes past his stick. And no icing will be called.
Yeah, Hunter Hastings had the big hit on St. Norbert that you mentioned before, Jacob. And you're going to see a lot of that. The Pointers want to be physical. And in order to win this game, they have to be physical.
Puck behind the Pointer side of the net. Big hit made there. Proctor out of his zone. Behind it to play it. Now gets back in his zone. The Pointers get it past the blue line. And into the Green Knights zone. Hastings got thrown. Gives him another few shoves. Each team brings in substitutions with 7 minutes to go here in the first period as icing is called.
Yeah, Hastings almost got hit into the bench of St. Norbert. That was very close. And the St. Norbert players gave him a little shoves as well. So that just kind of goes with the chippiness that we've been mentioning. It's getting more and more riled up, and I'm assuming something's going to happen here pretty shortly, Jacob. I know it's only the first period, 7 minutes left to go, 1-0 Pointers, but we got a long time where something can happen.
Off the midline, face-off, Pointers win it for the moment as they try to take it off of their own blue line. Big hit made there as St. Norbert corrals it behind the net. And here they come on the offensive attack by way of Brian Gilman.
And St. Norbert's just been very sloppy with the puck so far, and that's why the Pointers have been so good defensively.
You're right. Big hit avoided there at the red line. St. Norbert still trying to corral it, getting it back into Pointer territory. Crosses the line. No icing will be called. Proctor makes a play at the puck, trying to get it around the rink. And here comes the Pointers. Cross-ice pass is well behind. That was Alex Johnson. Substitutions made for the Pointers.
Nice
but they
push
caught
here.
off guards. Here comes a push for the Green Knights on the far side of the ice. At the far side face-off circle. Now the Pointers have the puck. And it comes in and out of play as it hits the rafters, falls back into the ice. So there will be a momentary pause in this one.
Yeah, by the time that the St. Norbert Green Knights get over that blue line, I just feel like they lose control of the puck. And realistically, they haven't really had an offensive possession since the first couple minutes of this period. So I just want to see them get a little bit more relaxed down there on their offensive side and move the puck around and try and get something open.
Face-off circle, seemingly won by the Pointers, and it is. But St. Norbert quickly takes back possession of the puck. Cross-ice path. Sorry, the pass was behind the net of the Pointer side of the ice. No offsides. Defenseman corrals it for Stevens Point. Cuts back to the other side. There's the pass on the yellow line. Past the red line. The Pointers have possession. Oh, that was slipped away. Here comes St. Norbert with the puck towards the net.
And Chris
Knocked away.
Engelbert
Wow.
is just everywhere for this Pointers defense. He had the turnover, the last possession for the Green Knights. This time, once again, Chris Engelbert making plays after play for this Pointers defensive unit.
Yeah, I mean, he leads the team in points, in goals. He's everywhere, offense and defense. Shot in front of the net. Proctor didn't have it, but the puck slips free, and here comes the Pointers on the offense.
Yeah, Michael Evtomoski saving that one right there. It could have been an easy goal for St. Norbert, but a nice job there for the defenseman making the play.
Morris had no one to pass it to. Now they've got a chance. Shot to the net. Straight shot from the blue line. Good. Or sorry, no good, but back to him.
Nice job keeping it on this offensive zone for the Pointers by Evtomoski.
Shot is high and gloved by Hunter Garvey. Makes another save for his Green Knights, but obviously he's the one that has let up the only goal scored in this matchup.
Yeah, the Pointers right now putting together a nice offensive possession, and St. Norbert just looks gassed out there. I feel like they barely get any offensive side. I mean, it really flipped after that first 2 minutes. It was all St. Norbert. Now it's been all Stevens Point. So we'll see what the Pointers can do here with the faceoff.
Dabrowski wins in the faceoff circle for the moment. Now the Pointers take over. Morris to the net is stopped by some Green Knight defenseman. Morris had the puck back and just sends it right back to the Green Knights. As the shot, or not shot attempt, but the pass attempt goes around. Back behind the net on the Pointer side of the ice. On the near side of the faceoff circle, big hit. You can see the plexiglass still wavering after that slam. And the net is still, or sorry, the puck still on the rink side, but they finally break it open. As the puck bounces off the glass, and now the Pointers have time to make some substitutions with under 4 minutes to go here in the first period.
Yeah, nice job by Quinton Hull, realizing he doesn't have anybody else to go with him on offensive end, gets the puck away, and a defensive substitution, or excuse me, a substitution for the Pointers, a nice line change.
Icing is waved off. You saw Proctor out of the net again. He's an aggressive goalie, but sends the puck out. Garvey was out of the net for the moment, but now he's back in. Pointers trying to set up a shot attempt, and we are seeing a much improved St. Norbert defense in these last 5 minutes as they quickly got the puck out of there. Cross ice pass up to the middle, and it goes off of the stick of Ethan Byrne.
Yeah, they're just trying to do something with nothing. I feel like St. Norbert's trying to advance it in ways I haven't seen before, so they got to be a little bit more patient, I would say.
Patience is maybe what they need. They have played hastily, a lot of brief movements, but now here come the Pointers. You need speed in this side of the game. Markham now enters. Kamilevsky, cross-ice path goes off of the spikes of Johnson. I don't even think he saw it. Poked out by Hamady. Puck lands in front of the goal. Garvey knew he had time. Now he resets in his zone. Kamilevsky out in front. Watch for him to try to make the shot. Instead, he tries going for the puck right there. Comes back to Kamilevsky off his stick, and there's the glove save for Hunter Garvey.
A little bit of chippiness down below once again.
It's between Kamilevsky and all the defensemen and Garvey, for St. Norbert. He's still talking.
Yeah, I don't blame Kamilevsky. I mean, they've been really fighting so far here in this first period with 2 left to go. I mean, the Pointers still have a 1-0 lead. They're looking to add more here with this face-off, and they've been doing great so far offensively. They're really moving the puck well, and I just hope that continues throughout the whole game.
Here on our side of the ice in the face-off circle, Pointers win it as they set up their offensive possession. Still pinned on the glass. Gino Colangelo in there. So is Eftimovsky. It breaks free. Here comes the Green Knights on the attack. Waiting around defenders. The shot is wide of the net.
Nice.
St. Norbert has another chance. Send it out wide. Shot attempt. It went behind the stick, so they got to reset. And they had 2 chances for a shot. The first one they missed. The second one they couldn't even execute the shot. Puck goes wide of the net.
Yeah, they're just missing these passes by probably a couple inches. I mean, nice job there from TJ Kufis. He had a couple moves, but just couldn't get it done. And then another pass from Kufis is now Proctor.
He got slammed into for no reason. It wasn't anywhere near the play. The dog pound not happy with it. There was contact enabled by Curtis Hammond. And again, the puck was at the blue line, was nowhere near the net. So I can't even ponder why Hammond was over by Proctor. He slams the net. I mean, you can look at it. They got to readjust. It was way off. So now it's a penalty called against Curtis Hammond, and the Pointers are on their second power play of this game with just over minute 31 to go here in this first period.
And Alex Proctor is not happy down there. He was jawing at the ref. He was jawing at the players. And if I'm a goalie, I wouldn't be happy with that either. I just get ran into for no reason, pushing the net, and he actually tossed the stick of Curtis Hammond off to the side. So we'll see what the Pointers can do here on this power play. I want to see a little bit better performance compared to their last one.
Kamilevsky shot. It is wide. Green Knights got to get it out of there. And they do. Icing is waved off. Proctor way out of the zone, and I'm sure that's why the Green Knights feel like they have the entitlement they do to be more aggressive to Alex Proctor since he's out of the net so often. And icing is waved off again. Substitutions are made for the Green Knights.
1 minute remaining in the period. 1 minute.
Here comes the Pointers. It's Kamilevsky. Trying to set something up. Poked away. Net going towards the backside of the net. Behind their red line. Trying to make something out of it. Eftimovsky. Back. Shot. Is out in front. St. Norbert defends well, and here they come. Puck going behind the net. That's where Proctor is. And the Pointers make several substitutions. Gino Colangelo is already back on the ice. He was out for maybe a minute. But here come the Pointers on the power play. Pass to Alex Johnson. Going around. Cross-ice pass in front of the net. Maybe a goal attempt. They got another shot attempt. Johnson off the glove. Puck is free. Shot attempt is no good. 10 seconds left in this first period. Pointers trying to make something. Here's O'Brien. Shot attempt is good! The Pointers make it 2-0.
What a pass from Hunter O'Brien inside to Quinton Hill, the senior. Wow, what a play there, Jacob. Great job by the Pointers in this power play unit, making a play. I was just going to say how good this penalty kill unit has been for St. Norbert. But wow, the Pointers get it done with 4.5 left in this first period. Power play ends 2-0 Pointers, Jacob. Wow, what a pass inside.
You could feel the sense of urgency, Brett. With now 3 seconds to go, Pointers have it. Pass goes off the glove of Garvey. No time left. And the first period is over in the home opener. The Pointers off to a strong start against the 4th-ranked team in the nation, St. Norbert, as each team heads back to their respective locker rooms. What a game it has been. First goal scored early by Chris Engelbert, and obviously the Pointers just scored their second goal there with the power play with less than 5 seconds left. You love to see it. Folks, that'll be all from us for the next 20 minutes, then we'll be right back for period number 2. Once again, I'm Jacob Spoerl, joined by Brett McNamara. If you're watching this online, video is brought to you by Pointer Studios on YouTube, with audio brought to you by WWSP 90 FM, your only alternative. Good evening as we return back to this home opener between your UW Stevens Point Pointers and the number 4th ranked St. Norbert Green Knights. I am Jacob Spoerl. Joined here to my left is the Brett McNamara. If you're watching this online, video is brought to you by Pointer Studios on YouTube, with audio brought to you by WWSP 90 FM. And right now, the Pointers are up 2-0 as we prepare to come back into the second period of this matchup, again between the 4th ranked St. Norbert Green Knights. Brett, how are we looking so far?
We're looking pretty good, Jacob. I mean, both offense and defense has been elite for the Pointers. Obviously, the 2 goals, one from Chris Engelberg, one from Quinton Hill. And I got to see a lot more shot attempts. I mean, the Pointers had 10 in that first period for the Pointers, so I want to see a little bit more over on the offensive side. But defensively, Chris Engelberg's been playing great. I mean, he's all over the ice, whether it's offense or defense. He's been, I mentioned before, Alex's practice right-hand man defensively, so I want to see a lot more of that. I want to see a lot more Pointers getting down there below. And then over on the St. Norbert Green Knights side, I mean, 7 shot attempts, 4 of them have been blocked by Proctor. Proctor's been playing great down there. But I just want to see a little bit better offensively. I mean, the passing has not been great. They're trying to force a lot of things, and I feel like it's not been working for them. So they need to go back to their roots, go back to what won them those first 3 games of the season, and try and get their 4th win of the season, down 2 already.
Yes, and we got to talk about Chris Engelberg. Heading into this game, he was tied for leading the team in points and was in the sole lead for goals, and now he extends both. He's got 4 goals in the year as well as, I believe, 4 points. And he's also, if you didn't know how good he was, he's been 100% from the face-off circle tonight. He has been dominant as both the Pointers and the Green Knights head back out onto the ice. We got 20 minutes left in the second period, 40 minutes in total barring overtime. But here we go. Starting from the red line.
It's going to be Hill at the face-off for the Pointers.
Puck is placed, and the Pointers win the face-off. And here comes Eftimovsky down the ice. And icing is called.
Yeah, an early icing here on St. Norbert, or excuse me, on the Pointers. So an early face-off in the Pointers defensive zone. And this is exactly what St. Norbert needs. I mean, you're down 2-0. You got to put pressure on the Pointers. And a lot of people have mentioned they got to hold this lead. And that's one thing the Pointers struggle at, is holding a lead. Hopefully they can do it this season. Obviously last season it resulted in them losing and not advancing to the WIAC championship. So hopefully this season they can turn that around.
And of course, quick to mention, as the Pointers win the face-off circle, here's a 1-on-2 opportunity. Pisarcek sends the puck into Green Knights territory after a big slam takes place. Where is the puck? It is on the near side of the yellow line, slipping outside to the far side face-off circle. That's where the Green Knights take it as they pursue past the red line. Here's a shot attempt off the pad of Proctor. It's behind the net. Proctor resets in his zone. And the puck taking it past the blue line. Here comes Pisarcek. And he just lobs it back as there's a line change made for the Pointers.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm kind of talking about offensively for St. Norbert. A quick shot, doesn't work out, and then it cost them, really. I mean, the Pointers moved right onto offense, and there was no passes on that St. Norbert side.
In transition, Pointers try to set up their next attempt. Hintz knocks it off the glass, but the Green Knights take it back. Coming past the red line. Here comes St. Norbert. Shot attempt is good! The Green Knights are on the board!
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Easy, nice behind-the-back pass for the Green Knights, and Dayton Deeks puts it in the net. The captain for this St. Norbert squad, the senior out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Great job there from St. Norbert, and exactly what I was talking about. You get a couple passes in there, makes it easy for St. Norbert, and now they cut that lead in half, 2-1 now, with 18:44 left to go in this second period.
The Green Knights just caught the Pointers in transition defensively. They did not seem prepared. Shot goes through, now 2-1 game. Face-off circle, and this face-off is won by Stevens Point. Puck will travel into St. Norbert territory. Garvey out of his net to make a play at the puck. As it travels past the red line, Pointers forced to recollect in their own zone. trying to get it back out of there. St. Norbert stays vigilant, and one of the Green Knights just slipped on his own volition. Nobody was near him, and that's the defenseman who has the puck now, slides it back out. Here's the Green Knights on the attack. Backwards pass is intercepted by the Pointers.
Good offensive
Here comes
chance for
Stephen
the Pointers.
Point. Oh, man, he had a chance. That was number 9 for the Pointers, Alec Hamady, the sophomore. Here comes St. Norbert. Shot is defended by the Pointers. That was Adam Racigal. Stream defender. Shot attempt there was blocked as the Green Knights make a line change. And here comes Stevens Point.
That's kind of what I'm talking about. I mean, the Green Knights, you just got a goal, and then they kind of go right back to what they were doing in that first period. A quick shot, goes off a couple of legs to the Pointers, and then it's Pointers' puck eventually. So it's just not been working out so well for the St. Norbert offensive unit.
Puck finally slips out. St. Norbert had a chance to get it out of there, but the puck remains on their side of the ice. Pointers with haste, but now St. Norbert finally gets it out of their zone and into the Pointer zone. Defenders ready. Shot attempt is wide of the net. Pointers now take it and pass it behind the way of Alex Proctor, and this will be not an icing.
Yeah, good slap shot attempt from Brian Gilman. He was kind of setting that one up quite a while before the puck was even passed to him.
Yeah.
Kind of calling for it as well. And that's what you want to see from St. Norbert. You set up the guys that want the puck. A good shot attempt there. Obviously, it didn't go through. So now St. Norbert with the puck on the offensive side once again.
Shot was wide. Green Knights gloved it. They weren't ready for that. Here comes Kamilevsky. Now Pisarcek. 2-on-2. He loses control of the puck. Here's another shot attempt. It is wide of the net.
Nice job keeping it on the Pointer's side. Almost loses it, though.
Another shot attempt. Cross-ice pass is intercepted for the moment. Pointers get it back. Dean. Pass back. Shot wide of the net.
And that's why the Pointers are going to win this game, I feel like, Jacob, because they just move the puck way more as it almost gets away from the Pointers.
Proctor played out of his zone. Shot attempt. Tries to glove it. He couldn't hold on. And the puck barely misses the goal. Oh, no. That was dangerous. You saw it with me. There was a one-on-one opportunity. It goes off the stick of, I believe, Dayton Deeks. No, it was Logan Dombrowski. Proctor out of the zone, played it, got it off, but there was another Green Knight there ready. Proctor didn't know he had or at least didn't see that his defensemen were there to help him out, so he had to jump back in front. Luckily, still 2-1.
Yeah, nice job there from Proctor, and that's why he's one of the best goalies in the WIAC, if not the best. He's just so aware where this puck is at all times.
And that puck went straight off the glass. St. Norbert gloved it, but here comes Joseph Manning. Past the red line. Pointers into the St. Norbert side of the ice. As the Green Knights try to get it out of there on the near side of the yellow line. And the pass takes it back into Pointers territory.
Besides the one goal they let up, the Pointers defense coming into the second period has been great so far.
And the pass is intercepted by St. Norbert. Owen Dean is on it. Bounces it from the backside. Here comes Martin. Pass cross ice. Over by the net. Now it's going all the way to the other side. Proctor well out of his net. Sends it behind. Line change for the Pointers. And here's a shot attempt. Trying to get set up for St. Norbert. Pass went short. Puck on the far side of the ice, up in the air. Finally back down. Poked away by the Pointers. They had a chance, but one of the defensemen will collect.
The Pointers defense just flying everywhere. Chris Engelberg, one of the best defensive players for the Pointers, and he plays forward. But this defensive unit and I believe this third line has just been playing great for Stevens Point so far.
14 and a half minutes ago, Pointers up 2-1. Shot attempt is deflected by Paul Morris. Here comes Morris trying to poke it away. Shot attempt wide for the moment. Puck was still alive. Proctor couldn't glove it. Now the puck is at the midline. Shot back. has to make a save. Proctor does, tried to glove it. He's out of play. He got hit. There's nobody at the goal. Hamity trying to get it out. And now there's a penalty. Proctor lost his helmet and his glove as he needs a moment. Oh, man.
Yeah,
straight physicality.
Yeah, Proctor looks a little bit shaken up down there. I mean, there's a lot of shot attempts. I mean, Curtis Hammond had a pretty good chance there for St. Norbert, but they're going to call a little bit of timeout here for Proctor. He got tangled up between a Pointer player and a St. Norbert player. So they're just going to take a second. I think Proctor's okay, though. He grabs his stick. He took his helmet off, actually, Jacob, and I think that's what caused the stoppage. So I think it's just going to be a face-off for St. Norbert because I think you just can't take your helmet off in that situation for
You cannot.
Pointers.
That is, you can't be in play if you have it off. But something quick to mention, total side note, Alex Proctor every year gets a brand new helmet that is painted, spray painted. This year he's got one in reference to his favorite film, Back to the Future. On the, I believe, the right side of his helmet, he's got a picture of the DeLorean, and on the back side of the helmet, he's got the flux capacitor, which of course powers the DeLorean. And a reference to him, obviously, he's a media studies student alongside all of us, studies films and other forms of media, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about hockey as we're back from this break. 14 minutes to go. Pointers up 2-1. Morris tries to collect out of the face-off circle for the Pointers. Currently behind the net. Proctor back and ready to go. Puck is still behind the net. They're trying to slip it out. It is caught in between 4 players, but it finally slips out up to F. Tomovsky, but now St. Norbert collects it. Colangelo stopped it for a second. St. Norbert back on the attempt. The forward slipped. Proctor didn't glove it, and there's a lot of slips going on right now, but now the Pointers finally take it out of their own territory here on the offensive possession. Behind the net for St. Norbert. And, of course, one of the things you've got to mention, what is a huge advantage for the Pointers here at the KB Willet, when the away goalie is on the side of the student section, they get absolutely harassed and barked at for the whole time they're over there. St. Norbert shot attempt wide on the near side of the net.
Pointers got to get there. Oh, jeez.
Bounce pass off the glass. Went behind way of Proctor. O'Brien sends it back behind the net. Pointers have a chance to get it out of the zone. Seems like they will. They do.
I forgot I was a broadcaster for a second, Jacob. They got me a little bit startled. I apologize. But, no, great job here for this Pointers defensive unit. I mean, ever since that goal, they've been playing elite defense, kind of going back to what they were doing in that first period. So I want to see more of that. And over on that St. Norbert side, I mean, offensively, they did great a couple times moving that puck around, and they just kind of stalled here in these last couple minutes. So I want to see a little bit more out of the Green Knights.
Poked away there by Ryan Hintz. St. Norbert had an opportunity, but O'Brien will take it. Ryan Hintz has the puck, taking it past the midline and sends it over behind the net, going around the rink. Slips off the puck for a second. Here comes St. Norbert on the quick advantage here. Here's the shot attempt. He can't get it off the stick. Puck went wide of the goal. Trying to get something out of it here. Braden Beam had a chance at it. Now here is Logan Dombrowski out from behind the net. Jackson Riley also there for St. Norbert. Here's Cooper Morris. Shot attempt is wide. Pointers defensively need to get it out of there.
And this defense just stepping up for Alex Proctor. Proctor, I mean, he is the goalie. He's the last line of defense, but this defense has really not made, I mean, it's made Proctor's job pretty easy.
Manning's pass is intercepted, and it lands on the near side faceoff circle. Once again, if you're listening to this broadcast on the radio, brought to you by WWSP Stevens Point, 90 FM. Once again, if you're watching this, video is brought to you by Pointer Studios. As the Green Knights are going to take this out of their own territory. On the offensive attack. Shot is knocked away. That was close. Proctor had to make a quick adjustment. Focus on the far side of his net, now on the near side, then on the near side.
That was a beautiful move there from Curtis Hammond, the senior, coming from one side all the way to the other side. Proctor just didn't see it coming.
Shot is blocked for the moment by Proctor. Here comes the Pointers. Flipped it over the head.
It's going to be icing.
of Brian Gilman, and icing is indeed the call. I believe the third of this game so far. 10.5 minutes to go. Pointers still up 2-1. Obviously entered the period 2-0, but St. Norbert started it off with some fireworks for their side of the ice. Still a one-score game as we're halfway through this one, the home opener.
Yeah, St. Norbert, ever since coming into the second period, their defense has also been elite. I mean, they just are not allowing the Pointers to get offensively going, and it's working out so well for them so far.
And here comes the Pointers by way of Aftomovsky, trying to get it out. And now play is stopped. I believe it was offsides called on St. Norbert.
Yeah, line change here for the Pointers. You can see Chris Engelberg coming back in for Stevens Point. I mean, going over to the individual stats for St. Norbert, I mean, they're getting shots. They really are. I mean, they're up to, I believe, 13 now. But, yeah, St. Norbert's just trying to get offensively going. They just can't. I mean, they got that one goal on a nice pass, but like I mentioned before, they got to move the puck a little bit more better. Offensively, the Pointers, I mean, they're marking down right down this ice.
And passes wide. Here comes the Pointers at the midline. St. Norbert defenseman getting it out of there as they have a chance here on offense. That was Jack Severson. But now here comes the Pointers. Cross ice pass is intercepted by St. Norbert as they take the puck, heading back into Pointer territory. Shot to the goal is way wide as the Green Knights make a line change as the Pointers prepare to try to send this puck, and they will. Sending it back into St. Norbert territory as they take it past the midline. Shot attempt is wide. Garvey was ready for it. At the near side faceoff circle as it travels back and around the yellow line, representing the straddle line of the rink. Behind the net. Shot in front of the net. Goes wide. Wow, that was a unsuspected shot.
Yeah, Owen Dean had a good chance to kind of tap that one in for Stevens Point, playing that kind of center position inside right in front of the goalie. He just couldn't get it to go.
There's a glove save made by Alex Proctor. O'Brien was ready to try to poke it out. Proctor was ready as we now have immediate timeout. 8:43 to go here in the second period. The Pointers up 2-1, and we obviously have to talk about the colossal stature of this matchup. Stevens Point coming into the season, the preseason rankings for their conference, which is the WIAC, they were ranked number 11th. They, of course, lost their first game, the season opener against Dubuque, Iowa, in the Key City Classic in Dubuque. And so far, they've ended up coming to 2-2, but now they've fallen out of the rankings, which only go to the top 15 in athletics. And I also do want to talk about the WIAC really quick. But before we do that, Brett, do you have anything to say in terms of measure of how this game is going?
I mean, this game's been going pretty well. I mean, it is 2-1, but it feels like, realistically, it actually does feel like it's 0-0. I mean, both defenses have been great. I mean, obviously the two goals against St. Norbert on that Pointer side really is kind of what the big thing is. But, I mean, offensively, just St. Norbert needs to play a little bit better, and this game would be easily tied. It just feels like it's a lot of back and forth, not a lot of the teams having a long-term possession. So maybe a little bit more better offensively from both squads here in the second period. But defensively, like I've mentioned, just eliteness from both squads.
8:43 to go as the shots on goal were updated for the moment. The Pointers so far haven't had any, according to these statistics, as now St. Norbert leads in that category. Pointers won in the faceoff circle. Here comes Kemelevsky on the near side of the ice now behind the net. Pointers setting up a shot attempt. And the puck is pinned at the yellow side. Pointers try to poke it out of there. St. Norbert just trying to stand strong defensively. Puck now going down the yellow line. And here come the Green Knights into Pointer territory. Travels past the near side faceoff circle and behind the red line.
Yeah, nice job by St. Norbert. I mean, the puck got ahead of them, but way to use their skates and get down there quickly to make it a little bit difficult for the Pointers.
Quick pass, now taken behind the net. Garvey out of his zone to play it. Trying to get something going for his Green Knights offensively, and they will for the moment. Here they come. Manning tried to poke it away, but instead Proctor knocked it away for the moment. Slips out. And here comes Joseph Manning on the ice. 2-on-2 opportunity for the Pointers. Cross-ice pass. Shot is wide. Bounces off the wall. Now here comes the Green Knights. Taking it past the midline. Here's a quick pass. Shot wide. And now it's traveling all the way back to St. Norbert's side of the ice. That is the quick pace of ice hockey.
Yeah, nice job there by the Green Knights. They got a good chance here.
Yes, they do. Shot is good! The Green Knights tie it up 2-2.
And just like I mentioned, can the Pointers hold on to this lead? And they can't. Tied 2-2 now on the goal from Brian Hartley, the junior from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And wow, just a great job there. Once again, a nice little quick pass inside, and Hartley finished it all the way from that right side, a little bit above the face-off circle on the right. But nice job there to make it 2-2 with 7:17 left to go in this second period. And a great job by St. Norbert staying with the puck like usual.
Pointers win the face-off circle to start after the 2-2 tying goal. And while Proctor didn't have a lot of assistance from his defenseman, he was just too far out of the net. If he was closer, he had a chance to make that save, but you just have to move too quick. He needed to be closer to the posts, but now it's 2-2 with under 7 minutes to go here in the second period. Pointers defense knocks it out. Here comes Komilevsky and Camden Markham, the freshman. Now the Green Knights got it. They could have had something. Puck is behind the net. Pointers play it. Pisarcek there, but it's Ryan Hintz who has the puck. Cross-ice pass goes off Komilevsky.
This Pointers offense has just been non-existent here in this second period. Really, they are losing this puck way too much. They're kind of looking like St. Norbert. It's almost like the teams have flipped identities, and I really just want to see a bit more passing. And like I mentioned about St. Norbert, they got to be a little bit more calm down there on the offensive side.
Quentin Hill was ready for the puck. It goes past his stick, traveling towards the net. Saved for the moment by Garvey, but instead of gloving it, he'll knock it out with his pad, then his stick.
It's going to get out of the zone, and the Pointers going to have to be forced to reset.
Eftimovsky just lobbed it over as one of these St. Norbert defensemen. Landed on it. That pass had a chance to get there, but Paul Morris there to stop that one.
And one of the things we haven't really mentioned, Jacob, is the line changes have been great for Stevens Point. I mean, they're really moving in and out pretty quickly and, getting the right personnel out there in the right moments.
Cross-ice lob pass for the Green Knights in front of their zone, and I cannot believe that. I don't think I've ever seen that in my life. Calvin Hansen didn't have a stick. The puck landed in front of the St. Norbert box, so as he went over there, he grabbed a stick from one of his teammates in the box to play the puck. That was incredible. And here comes St. Norbert, taking it out of their zone. Cross-ice pass. They're going to set something up here. Tie game. Send it. Go behind the goal.
Got a good opportunity here, Jacob.
Cross-ice pass. Defenseman ready. Shot was wide behind the net. And I'm not sure what happened. I think the puck might have hit the rafters. You saw Alex Proctor darting his head around, trying to look for the puck. But we take a momentary pause with 4 minutes and 56 seconds left in the second period. Tie game between the Green Knights and the Pointers. It is 2-2.
Yeah, like I mentioned, it's felt like this whole game, it's been tied. I mean, both teams, going back and forth with what their identities have been, whether it's been Stevens Point having the puck possession for most of the time, whether it's St. Norbert having the puck possession for most of the time. But just right now, Stevens Point, the defense really needs to step it up. I mean, it's been way too much St. Norbert on the offensive side, and they're really starting to move the puck around, which is what I've been saying. They really need to do that in order to win this game.
Face-off circle was won by the Green Knights as they have it right near the face-off circle right now. The puck is pinned to the wall. But now it slips out. Pointers lob it over, heading into St. Norbert territory. Here comes the defenseman, Cooper Morris.
A great job there from Alec
Hamady.
Making a nice chance to even get the Pointers on offense. Obviously, it didn't result in that, but a great job there. There's going to be a face-off. Actually, it's a penalty on St. Norbert.
It is. So the Pointers will be on the power play going against the penalty kill unit for St. Norbert. And this is the third power play for the Pointers in this game. They obviously scored their second goal with 5 seconds left in the first period on their power play.
And they looked much better in that second power play.
Yes. They're going to try to take advantage here from the St. Norbert zone. Pointers setting up the shot on the far side of the net. Back to the defenseman, back to one of the forwards. Pointers still on the far side of the face-off circle. Shot goes wide of the net. Pointers trying to get back to the puck.
Yeah, St. Norbert's got to watch that backside. I mean, that's kind of how the last goal happened. I mean, O'Brien just kind of split through those defenders and made a great play. It was a nice pass.
Quarter of the way through the power play. Here's Hintz. Shot. No good. Defended by the St. Norbert Green Knights as they're able to make a line change as it heads back into the Pointers' side of the ice.
Yeah,
a minute 20 to go on the power play.
Yeah, Jack Christian, nice job there defensively. I mean, he put the stick up, made a play, and then he got the puck out of there as well. So 2 plays there from Christian, the sophomore defenseman.
It was a backwards pass to Nico Kemelevsky back in the zone, and it was gloved by Hunter Garvey. There's some extracurriculars going on. We saw a little bit of that in the first period. One of the guys in there for the Pointers was Gino Colangelo, the junior. Obviously, Garvey was one of them. I believe another one of the St. Norbert Green Knights that was in there as well was Ryan Ginger. And we're about halfway through the power play. 3.5 minutes to go, still tied at 2 apiece. Here, both teams prepare in the face-off circle. Far side of the St. Norbert net. Green Knights take it out. Goes behind the net of the Pointers. Proctor makes a play at the puck. Has to land back on. I don't even know why he's trying to risk that. Now 45 seconds left on the power play. Here's Kemelevsky. Cross-ice pass was intercepted by the Green Knights. Here's a lob on the penalty kill unit. St. Norbert has a chance, goes off the pads of Proctor, now on the other side of the net. St. Norbert still has the puck. That's Ryan Ginger. But the Pointers have it. Back on the power play. Shot wide of the net.
Yeah,
that one was close.
Ginger tried to get that shorthanded goal for St. Norbert. Unfortunately, just couldn't get it. I mean, 3 defenders there for Stevens Point. It was pretty much slim to none.
Under 10 seconds left in the power play. The Pointers are running out of time to take advantage of this opportunity, and they won't. 5 seconds countdown as it's behind their own side of the net.
Green Knights in full strength.
And the Green Knights are back at full strength.
And that penalty kill unit looks like exactly like that first time the Pointers were on the power play. It was great. Defense was moving all around. That's exactly what you want to see.
Quick line change. Eftimovsky's back in the game. Shot there, though, was wide of the net. Pointers still have possession of the puck. Backwards pass. Long shot. Misses the post. St. Norbert corrals the puck from behind the net. Goes past, but the Pointers defenseman has it. Knocks it right back to the near side face-off circle on St. Norbert's side of the ice. Bounces off the glass, and that is icing.
With 2 minutes left to go, I just want to see the Pointers kind of move it around a little bit more. I mean, I know I've been mentioning it pretty much all game, but right there, you just can't have that far of a shot there. It wasn't really open. There was a lot of defenders in the way, and I just want to see a better shot attempt on that Stevens Point side. So it's going to be a nice, good chance here with the face-off to try and get a quick shot, maybe a pass inside. As it's going to be Engelberg, who is currently undefeated in that face-off zone, but, since I mentioned he's probably going to lose this, no, he wins it.
He wins the face-off, I believe, undefeated in his face-offs for this game as the puck travels to the other side of the ice here by our broadcast booth. Line change made for St. Norbert. Caught in transitions. Pointers had a chance, but the pass wasn't transferred, and now St. Norbert has an opportunity. Coming towards the goal. Shot is off the post, no good. A minute and a half to go in the second period, 2 apiece. Proctor out of the net to make a play at the puck. Off the blue line. Pointers have a 1-on-2 opportunity. Scooting around.
Oh,
I believe
no.
that was Niko Kamilevsky, but now here comes St. Norbert. It's a 2-on-3. Shoved back. Pointers stand strong defensively. Whistle blows with 1:04 to go. And not sure what they called it on, Brett. Seemingly it's against St. Norbert.
I believe it's too many players on the ice.
Yeah,
I want to say it. That's the call here. So they're going to put him in the penalty box for jumping out a little bit too early there.
And you could see that St. Norbert's box was incredibly frustrated. I mean, they're the box that's directly under our side of the broadcast booth, so we could, I mean, maybe our microphones picked up their conversation. To say it minimally, it was heated. But now it is a penalty against St. Norbert. Braden Lindstrom heads to the box, and now the Pointers have their 4th power play of the game with 1 minute.
I don't know what the call is because now the Pointers are on the
Yes.
penalty
I apologize.
out there. So
The Pointers are on the penalty kill unit. It is St. Norbert's 2nd power play of the game. I'd like to apologize for that. It is Camden Markham who is in the penalty box, and I'm not even sure why St. Norbert was arguing. And now with 45 seconds left to play, here's the penalty kill unit for the Pointers, trying to get it out of their own side of the ice. As we are about a quarter of the way through this power play for the Green Knights. Puck is still caught in the corner.
Beam's got it now. We'll see what he can do with it.
Here's Beam. Out to the defenseman on the blue line. Cross-ice pass. Dabrowski, shot is wide. Ooh, Proctor might not have been ready for it, but the puck is out. Slipping back to the corner. 15 seconds left in the second period. Just over a minute left on the power play. And it looks like with some transitioning and line changes, 5 seconds left in this period, we're going to have to take this power play into the next one. But there was a whistle blown seemingly before the time expired.
They're going to call it. Would have been a face-off anyways.
Yeah, so they're going to call it. That concludes the second period of this one. And the Green Knights will be on the power play for 55 seconds, the first 55 seconds of period number 3, as we are tied up in this home opener between the Pointers and the number 4th ranked St. Norbert Green Knights. We'll take a brief break for about 15 minutes, then we'll come back to discuss what happened in the WIAC this past hockey offseason, because a lot has changed with D3 hockey. But we'll be back from the KB Willet Arena. I have been Jacob Spoerl and Brett McNamara. We'll see you in about 15 minutes. Welcome back, everybody, as we play on. We're just under 2 minutes out before we start period number 3 of this massive home opener for your UW-Stevens Pointers as they are taking on number 4 nationally ranked St. Norbert, the Green Knights. We are tied at 2 apiece, and right now, as we come back, the Green Knights are on the power play with 55 seconds left after an awkward penalty was called for too many men on the ice for the Pointers. And I am Jacob Spoerl. Joined here to my left is the Brett McNamara. If you're watching this online, video is brought to you by Pointer Studios with audio brought to you by WWSP 90 FM. And one talking point that I've been trying to get out, but this game is so fast, really quick, Brett, before you give us with some in-game referred stats, is that the WIAC is brand new this year for the Pointers. Obviously, every sport that UW-Stevens Point plays in is the WIAC. It's the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. However, what's different is that hockey, at least for the WIAC, only has 6 teams, 5 of which are from UW schools. The 6th for many years has been Northland College. However, this past offseason, that university was closed. So Northland College no longer exists, and in order for the WIAC to have an eligible playoff bid, they need 6 teams in total. So they got one in this offseason. It is Beloit College. Welcome to the WIAC. Now, Brett, you can share with us some of your stats.
Yeah, I was just going to kind of go over the shot attempts from both squads. I mean, I mentioned before, a lot of the time it's been flipping. I mean, St. Norbert's had the puck a lot, and they have their moments where they have the puck for a good amount of possession, and then the Pointers end up doing the same thing. And, I mean, it kind of goes with the first period and the second period. I mean, in that first period, the Pointers had 10 shot attempts, while St. Norbert only had 7. And then here in the second period, St. Norbert got up to 19 shot attempts on the game, and the Pointers only got up to 12. So a big, drastic change. I mean, 2 shot attempts for the Pointers. You just can't have that in a whole period. That is just unacceptable. They need to turn it around here. We're tied 2-2. We're restarting. Final period. It's going to be a good one, Jacob.
If you count the stats in terms of periods won, I would say the Pointers won the first, St. Norbert won the second. That's where we are tied at 2 apiece. And here comes the Green Knights, taking it past into Pointer territory. Proctor already in front of his net as he prepares for an incoming shot. Defenseman for the Pointers ready up as St. Norbert attempts another shot. Goes off the pad of Proctor. Another shot attempt goes wide.
And that's one of their philosophies as it kind of runs out of the zone. I mean, after that first period, they didn't shoot it a lot, like I mentioned. I mean, going into that second period, they must have talked about it. They got to just shoot the puck as much as possible, which coming out here in this third period, they're doing just that.
Great stoppage there for the Pointers defenseman as the puck accidentally gets lodged up into the rafters. So we have a momentary stoppage of play. Just over 19 minutes to go and only 5 seconds left on the power play for the Green Knights. And it hasn't seemed like it throughout these first 49 seconds or so that St. Norbert's been on the power play, and the Pointers have their penalty kill unit out there as there's a discussion between some of the officials right now.
And something St. Norbert's not happy about.
Which is funny because St. Norbert was upset with something when at the end of the second period, but the penalty ended up going against the Pointers, so it all ended up winding up in the Green Knights' favor. So the argument just fell null and void as we now have 5 seconds left on the St. Norbert power play before the Pointers are back at full strength. Winding down, they couldn't get a shot off in time, and it is,
shot scored!
Shot is in!
The goal was from Calvin Hansen, and Proctor just did not see that one coming. Came from one side all the way to the right, and Hansen just put it right in there. A great job from St. Norbert coming out of the break and putting another point on the board. 3 unanswered goals for the Green Knights, and it just kind of goes with what I've been saying. They just good passing results in goals, and they do it just there.
Camden Markham was just coming back in. That's why I slipped on my words. So technically, while the power play was over for the Green Knights, the Pointers still didn't have all their players in the zone. So now the Green Knights take their first lead of the game, up 3-2 over the Pointers, as the puck is currently behind the net. on St. Norbert's side of the ice. Pass over to Kemelevsky. Trying to get something going. Here's the shot. Off the glove of Garvey. Puck is behind the net. Winding around is St. Norbert. Poke check is there. Pointers have a shot attempt. Shot from Raegan. Puck is alive. Where is it? It goes wide of the net. Pointers have another chance. It's Raegan again. Over to Engelbert. And it is gloved by Garvey. Nice save there.
Garvey has really stepped up compared to that first period. I mean, the last two, he's been playing great hockey so far in between the posts, and you love to see that if you're a St. Norbert fan.
Absolutely. Just over 18 minutes ago, we've already had, I believe, 3 stoppages of play, and we're not even a full 2 minutes into the final period. Once again, St. Norbert has the lead up 3-2. They're going to reattempt this face-off. Puck is now officially dropped. St. Norbert comes away with the victory. Pass goes way behind the net. St. Norbert trying to get something going. Proctor prepared for a shot if it comes his way. Lob goes over. Here comes Gabe Randall. Cross-ice pass. Mosier. Puck goes wide of the net. Pointers get a second attempt. Will they get the shot off? No. Puck goes in the air. Defenseman gets back to it. Here's one of the Pointer forwards behind the net. Pinned up against the boards. Going around the line. Quick body check from Gino Colangelo. Puck is still on the near side. Here's Gabe Randall. Slips free. For the moment, shot is off the pads of Garvey. He is having himself a nice start to this third period. One of the Pointer players loses his stick as St. Norbert takes possession of the puck, heading into Pointer territory. Bounces off the boards. And here's a line change from the Green Knights.
Yeah, earlier there should have been a high sticking called on Stevens Point. Not sure on who it would have been on, but a missed call there from the rest resulted in the Pointers having another offensive possession. But on that offensive possession, just a terrible shot attempt. It just didn't work out for Stevens Point. Would have liked a better opportunity there.
Puck straying behind the Pointers' goal. Defenseman for the Pointers trying to get out of there. And it got out of there for the moment by Aiden Mosier as the puck travels past the red line and the Pointers have a line change. Here's Hastings. Now Alex Johnson pokes it out as the puck travels back behind the net. Proctor plays the puck outside of his crease. Cross-ice pass for the Green Knights. There's a little bit of a body check on the blue line on the St. Norbert side of the ice. Here's a shot attempt, and it is intercepted and stopped by the Pointers. Now they have attempt. 2-on-2. It was a lob pass glove by the Green Knights as they now have the advantage. Slipping through the cracks of several Pointer defenders. Green Knights make a quick line change. And now here comes Stevens Point. Past the midline. Cross-ice pass. Here it comes. Shot is wide. Not enough speed on that puck. Seemingly poked away from St. Norbert. Bounced off the glass. One of the Pointers lost his stick. Slow to get up. And that was Quentin Hill as he slowly skates back to his bench. Green Knight has the puck by way of Logan Dombrowski. But the Pointers take it. Oh, they momentarily had a one-on-one opportunity, but now icing is called, and I cannot believe it. It went past by way of Cody Pisarcek, who is a freshman, and he had an easy chance to handle that puck, but he just couldn't.
Yeah, great opportunity for Stevens Point to have a chance at putting another point on the board. Unfortunately, just didn't result in that way, but a big hit on Quentin Hill as he, like you mentioned, Jacob, skated kind of poorly and down towards that bench. So we'll see if he is all right, but he did lose that stick as well.
Yes, slammed pretty hard to the board. St. Norbert wins in the face-off circle. Passes short of the net. Proctor was ready for it either way. Here's another attempt, and Proctor makes the glove save.
Yeah, nice job there from Proctor. I mean, he gave up the last goal in the last shot, so you kind of want to see it turn around here. Not a great second period and not a great start here to the third period, so you want to see a little bit better performance-wise from Alex Proctor and this defense from Stevens Point. It kind of went down after that first period, and St. Norbert's really has taken it to him so far.
Outside the face-off circle, the Pointers win it. Here's a bit of a scoring opportunity as it goes past the stick of Kemelevsky. Goes towards the goal. Garvey lands on it to make the save. And there will be a media timeout, which will stop the clock with 14 minutes and 55 seconds to go. St. Norbert currently has their lead, their first lead of the game, I should say, up 3-2 over the Pointers here in Stevens Point in their home opener. And it looked like they had such a great start. They went up a swift 2-0 after one period. After the Pointers win the face-off circle, they win the face-off, but it goes past the stick of O'Brien. He had to recollect.
Yeah, that's just the little things right there, Jacob. You just can't have that mistake, losing the zone opportunity where you have to reset your offense. And now it looks like, Stevens Point currently has it, but we'll see if St. Norbert retakes this puck.
Kemelevsky tried getting it off, but now St. Norbert out in front. Here's a 2-on-2. Shot is wide of the net. It went up in the rafters and back down into play, but we'll have a quick pause. And I'm glad he missed that shot because while Proctor was in position to make the save, none of his defensemen seemingly were ready. If the Green Knights were able to make another shot, and they were, it looked like Ben Edwards was there.
And I'm kind of looking at this bench and who's on the ice, and I'm not seeing Braden Beam out there, one of the starters for St. Norbert.
I'm not either.
He did look a little bit shaken up towards the end of that second period, so we'll see if that resulted in why he is not playing here in this third period, but that could really benefit Stevens Point. He's got a tall frame, could help St. Norbert score.
Behind the net now. Proctor works his way back into his crease. Here comes the Pointers, 2-on-2 opportunity. A long stretch shot intercepted. Stopped for the moment. Puck out in front. Nice defense there from St. Norbert. Here's another 2-on-2, this time for the Green Knights advantage. They set up the shot. It's wide of the net. St. Norbert has a second chance. Back in the Pointers side of the play as Proctor relieves his defenseman for the moment, popping out of the crease behind his net. Pointers take it past the midline, but now the Green Knights can recollect and prepare for their next offensive attack. And it looked like I thought one of the officials had said timeout, but I don't think we're getting a timeout here. They're going to reset, and they're going to face off from center ice. Peterson drops the puck, and the Green Knights win the faceoff. Cross-ice pass to Mark Schneider.
Yeah, with about 13:30 left to go in this third period, I want to see the Pointers just put a little bit more pressure on St. Norbert when it comes to offensive play.
Taking it, swinging around. They're going to step back, try to set something up. Here's Schneider. Couldn't handle it out first. Cross-ice pass. Goes past the stick. Now the Pointers have the puck. Taking it past the midline. A lot of nice moves made. Quentin Hill lost it at the last moment. Nice little block there made by Morris. And now the Green Knights make a line change as the Pointers going to take it out of their own side of the ice.
Yeah, Hill had a good opportunity for Stevens Point to at least get it closer to the goalie, but unfortunately did lose it.
Pass goes high the net and wide. 12.5 minutes to go in the third period as there is a stoppage of play as the puck was pinned by Alex Johnson and Jackson Riley.
Yeah, Stevens Point they kind of took over the sloppiness from St. Norbert. Really offensively, they're just losing the puck a lot. You saw it right there from Hill. He made a nice couple moves, just couldn't get it done, and that's just kind of the little things I've been mentioning where Stevens Point just can't get it done here in these last couple periods.
And the Green Knights win the faceoff as the puck bounces off the boards. And icing is called. That was a probably good 6 seconds before stoppage of play was called. The word was seconds, Brett. Now, after the icing was called, we're going to see a faceoff here from the far side faceoff circle on St. Norbert's side of the ice. It's Alex Johnson in on the faceoff for the Pointers. Here's a backwards pass at Stevens Point. wins the faceoff. Johnson has to corral his way back to the puck on the corner. Puck lost in between 3 Green Knights and 2 Pointers. Still on the wall against the boards. Finally slips out. Still against the wall, but the Pointers defensively recollect. Bounces off the glass. The Green Knights trying to get it out of position, but Johnson on the puck, slips it back. There was a chance for it, but nice defense for the Pointers, and that was just a battle of the midway. Not Chicago, though. Icing is waved off as there's a big line change there for the Pointers. Puck is behind the St. Norbert net as they get it on out of there. Here's a one-on-one opportunity, but the puck slips out. And one of the defensemen for the Pointers dangerously kept the puck in front of the net, something Alex Proctor would not approve of. But now here comes the Pointers, taking it past mid-ice. Bounce pass off the glass that goes around. Garvey works his way out of the crease. St. Norbert had a chance, but a nice backwards pass takes it right back behind the net. Here comes St. Norbert, taking it past mid-ice. Puck still around mid-ice. Slipping back into St. Norbert's territory, but there's a defenseman there. Puck at the blue line. Under 11 minutes to go in the game. Garvey was there. Sends it to one of his defensemen, as now St. Norbert is on the offensive attack. Puck waddles on the far side of the ice, and the Green Knights will make a line change.
Yeah, it's just kind of going back and forth. Nobody really having possession of the puck, and that's just really what this game has been all about. It's been all defense. I mean, obviously there's been 2 goals.
Proctor with a butterfly move. Had the puck under his glove. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but there was a shot attempt there from the Green Knights.
As I was just going to mention, Braden Beam is now finally back. It looked like a little bit of an injury coming back out for St. Norbert, and that's big. I mean, there's also another injury on St. Norbert. Number 14, Jack Christian, the sophomore, came up a little bit limpy a few plays ago. So we'll see if he's all right, but that's pretty much it from the injury report, Jacob.
Little injury report brought to you by Brett McNamara. You gotta call that something official.
Yeah, I know. We'll figure it out eventually.
We'll figure it out. This is only game 1 of a long season, at least for us in the broadcast booth. Icing waved off as we enter into St. Norbert's side of the ice. Defense out to make a play at the puck. Quentin Hill coming across, trying to poke it out with some pressure on the forecheck. Here past the midline. Puck travels. Shot attempt is no good.
Nice save there from Proctor.
Dombrowski had a chance at it. Where's the puck? Finally slips out as it goes off the stick of Landon Fleming, the freshman. Hasn't played a ton of time in this one.
Just great defense from Stevens Point there.
Another shot goes wide of the net. Bounces back towards the blue line. Glove man there by Dombrowski. Still working on the far side of the boards. He breaks out. Decides to hold on to the puck as he comes the other side. Backward shot. Goes past. Under 9.5 minutes to go. St. Norbert trying to extend their lead. Another long stretch shot goes wide of the net. And finally there is a stoppage of play. It is a media timeout. Oh my goodness. If that puck stayed on that side of the ice for much longer, I don't know if the Pointers would have been able to hold up.
I don't think so either, Jacob. I mean, they're just getting shot attempt after shot attempt on them and Proctor. I mean, Proctor's stamina has to be going down quite frequently now as a media timeout has been called. But yeah, St. Norbert's been playing great here in the last couple periods. Obviously, you got the 2 goals in that second period, which really put the pressure on Stevens Point. And then the pressure just skyrocketed in that this third period right away. A goal within the first minute. And now Stevens Point has to play from behind. So 3 unanswered goals for St. Norbert. Can the Pointers turn it around? I guess we'll see, Jacob. It starts on the offensive end. It really does. I mean, there's just not a lot of shot attempts, not a lot of possession time over there on that offensive side. So that's just got to work out better, but we'll see what they can do here.
I mean, going into this season, the preseason polls had both of these teams nationally ranked. And even though right now Stevens Point has slipped out of the rankings, with how close of a game this has been, with this, which is right now the 4th ranked team in the nation, Both teams have played extremely competitive. It's early in the season, so you're going to see a lack of chemistry, a lack of cohesiveness, especially on the side of the pass game. And I think that is where St. Norbert has, unfortunately, if you're a Pointer fan, had the advantage as the puck comes in and out of play.
Gosh, I'm getting a lot of PTSD from just pucks. I don't know why. I really am.
See, you weren't there to witness when the puck came in and out, almost hit us in the booth. But you know what? They did something new, at least for the fans, not for the broadcast booth. They had nets now stretching about another, I'd say, 12 feet or so as the Pointers win the face-off circle. They're going to try to get it out of their side of the ice. Slipped out. Pointers recollect. Goes around if there's a big hit in front of the Pointers bench. Quick flash of the timber as now the great exchange there from the St. Norbert Green Knights. It was TJ Kufis.
I'm kind of seeing this flip of identity here from St. Norbert. As soon as they got that third goal, it's been all defense. Really, they've put all the pressure on the defensive side, and it's been working very well for them so far.
Pointers are the team that is having to play some defense right now. Haven't seen much of their offense since the first period. Owen Dean working on the bench. Colangelo springs it free. Here comes Bunting. Sean Bunting has to recollect. Here's a pass over. Shot is low. Where's the puck? Outside of the net. Pointers get another chance. Quick toss, quick pass. Wide of the net again.
And Garvey does not have his stick. It's going to be all pads for Hunter Garvey in the goal.
Some risky play. Can he stay alive? The Pointers need to take advantage of this opportunity.
It's a great opportunity.
Doesn't have the stick. Shot goes wide. Nice save. Another attempt from Alex Johnson. He lost change of the puck. And now here's St. Norbert with a 1-on-2 advantage. How did the Green Knights survive? Proctor gets decked. Gets back on his feet. Oh my goodness. Proctor well out of the crease. There is a stoppage of play. Chaos in these last minute and a half. But there is going to be a penalty.
I believe it's going to be cross-checking if I'm correct. But wow, goalie highlights back and forth. You lose the stick on the Hunter Garvey side for St. Norbert, and then Proctor gets absolutely steamrolled in that goalie crease. So a great job there by Proctor to get right back up and play defense. So great job there from Alex Proctor. Garvey looks a little bit shaken up and just trained down there, but it's going to be a good chance at another power play for Stevens Point. And I'm going to be honest, Jacob, they haven't had a lot of offense. This is their moment to tie this one up.
It absolutely has to be. And if the Pointers end up scoring, you just got to blame Ethan Byrne if you're a St. Norbert fan. There was absolutely no reason at all he had to cross-check Alex Proctor, who's completely defenseless. The puck wasn't anywhere near the goal. Byrne is the one who is serving his time in the penalty box. Pointers on the power play for the next 2 minutes. Under 7.5 minutes to go in the game. They're down 2-3 against number 4 ranked St. Norbert. Puck is in the corner. Slips out. Up in the air by Hintz. Back down to the ice. It's Markham. Trying to get a hand on it. He does. Goes back to the corner. Back to the other corner. Markham prepares out in front of the goal. On the side. A lunge attempt for Garvey is successful as he puts a glove on the puck. Stops the power play as we got 1:34 left of that. 7 minutes and 2 seconds left in this one, folks.
Yeah, Garvey's been playing out of his mind these last 2 periods, especially in this third one, and it comes really from this defense. The defense is making him better, and he's making the defense better. Great job there from Hunter Garvey getting on that puck.
Kemilevsky on the faceoff. St. Norbert wins it, and for the first time on this power play, the puck heads onto the Pointers side of the ice. So the Green Knights make a line change, and here comes the Pointers offense. Taking it past the blue line, trying to set up a pass. It gets temporarily blocked. Defenseman out in front. Lobbed back and off the stick as it heads back. The puck, that is, into the Pointers zone. Proctor out of the crease to set up his teammates as now the Pointers make a line change.
Yeah, the penalty kill unit for St. Norbert's been elite so far.
1 minute to go in the power play. Now under a minute to go. I don't know what they're trying to set up right now. Alex Johnson on the puck. Coming inside. Cross-ice pass. Shot! Wide of the net.
Crossbar.
Just high off the crossbar. Now here's St. Norbert with some offense on their penalty kill unit, but the Pointers take it right back. Oh, a misuse of a pass that I don't even know what that was. Proctor out of the crease to play the puck. 30 seconds left in the power play for Stevens Point. They need it more than ever. Pass mid-ice. Here's O'Brien. Poke check from the Green Knights defenseman. Puck goes around and behind the goal. Shot attempt incoming for the Pointers, but it goes off the stick again.
Just one more pass away, Jacob. They
Only 10 seconds left on the power play. This is where the Pointers scored their second goal of the night. Shot attempt wide of the intended man, and the power play comes to the end. St. Norbert back at full strength.
And just poor play on that penalty by the Pointers. It just didn't work out, and it kind of has been that way the last few power plays for Stevens Point.
It was good defense, but a lot of missed passes is what killed them there on the power play unit. Nice job on the penalty kill unit for St. Norbert as they're setting up their offensive attack. Shot is wide of the net. Proctor was ready for it. Shot is short of the goal. They're going to try another, and it hits the post. That one was close. It was closer than a lot of fans realize, I think, as well. As the puck travels behind the net, under 5 minutes to go. Pointers need to score within these next 4.5 minutes or so to tie this one up.
They got about 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes left of 5-on-5, and then you'll see the Pointers start pulling their goalie.
We might get to that point soon. Tyler Krieger in his 9th season as the Pointers head coach will need to make that decision as the puck now travels under 4.5 minutes to go into St. Norbert's side of the ice. Defenseman trying to get it out of there for St. Norbert. It is pinned on the far side of the board. Shot attempt just wide of the net on the near side. Here's Paul Morris towards the goal. Goes off the pad of Garvey. Pointers trying to set this one up. Shot is stopped in front. 4 minutes to go.
This defense for St. Norbert's just been absolute excellence.
Elite defense. As St. Norbert now makes a line change. Puck on the Pointers side of the ice. Back towards Proctor. Nice defense there. And a stop made by Michael Evdomovsky. Right now the puck is pinned on the near side of the boards. Right pass in the corner. Now going behind the net to the other corner. Pointers going to try to play this out of their zone, and they will. Crossing the mid-ice. Goes off the pad of Garvey. Didn't want to make a glove save. Just going to let his team play off. Under 3 minutes to go. 3.5 minutes to go, sorry. Puck taken by the Pointers defenseman. Slips off Evdomovsky's stick as it now travels towards the net. Just a reminder, if you're listening to this broadcast, it is brought to you by WWSP Stevens Point. Video brought to you by Pointer Studios on YouTube. Here's Bunting off the boards. Under 3 minutes to go in this one, folks. Pointers down 2-3. They need it in these next 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's crucial time now. You can see the offense is getting a little bit more pressure on Stevens Point, on St. Norbert. So we'll see if any changes are made as another broken stick.
Seen a couple of those tonight, Brett. St. Norbert playing it out of their
Here's
zone.
A good opportunity.
Intercepted pass. There's an opportunity for the Pointers. Past the blue line. Cross ice pass was intercepted going behind the net. Good defense. Under 2.5 minutes to go. Puck back into the Pointer zone. Green Knights able to make a line change. Pointers know that they don't have a lot of time left to score. I can feel the sense of urgency in the Willet. They don't want to disappoint their fans. They want to start their season off strong with a victory. And there's a missed shot by Hamady. I'm not sure what that was. He's got the puck again, bounce it off the boards. Will give the Pointers some temporary relief.
And here's your 2-minute warning, Jacob. This is it. Stevens Point's got to do something.
St. Norbert back on the puck, trying to get it out of their own zone, and they do. St. Norbert has a chance for a goal. It goes wide. Another shot goes off the post. Proctor was ready for it. Might have hit the pad as well. Defenseman for the Pointers trying to get it out to Kamilevsky. Traveling down past the box.
This offense for St. Norbert's been so tough against Stevens Point where it's hard for Proctor as they pull the goalie, and here we go.
They pull the goalie. Pointers bringing 6 on the ice. Under a minute and a half. St. Norbert collecting on their side of the ice. Getting it past the midline, sorry. Puck travels into the goal. A long stretch shot. Not a goalie was there. Alex Proctor was pulled. And now this game might be out of reach, folks, as the Green Knights take a 4-2 lead. And already fans are leaving.
And that was Braden Beam with the goal. The freshman gets his second of the year. And wow, Braden Beam, I mean, nice little move. Put it right in the empty net. And this looks like it is over with 1:11 left. I mean, 4-2. We'll see. They're going to pull the goalie probably one more time.
No, they're going to keep Proctor in. They don't want that liability. They're just going to rely on their offense, which has not worked for these last two periods, as the Green Knights win the faceoff. 1:07 to go. Bounce off the boards. Pointers do actually have a chance here if they just collect the puck. Bunting, backwards pass on the far side of the ice. Under 1 minute to go. And here's Aiden Mosier. Has a chance. He gets checked. Puck slips out.
Empty net.
Good transition. Hastings bounce it off the boards. 42 seconds left. There's not a lot of time. They need 2 goals to try to stay alive. Lob over, defenseman, and they did pull the goalie. It is 6-on-5 action. 30 seconds left. Green Knights make a line change. Long stretch pass. Pointers did have a chance catching them in transition, but they lost that opportunity quickly. The defensemen are ready. Puck travels in the air. They have 18 seconds to do something. But that shot misses. You can hear the dismay from the Green Knights. The Pointers only have 8 seconds, but folks, this one's over. There's no chance. Garvey takes his time with the puck, 3 seconds. And that is it. Pointers started this one off strong, up 2-0 in the first period. They scored within the final 5 seconds on the power play within the first period. But it was all St. Norbert from there on out. And a tough loss to start your season in the Willet. But the Pointers will be back Friday for their first conference opponent against the River Falls Falcons.
Yeah, not a great performance in those last couple of periods from Stevens Point. That first period, it looked like a completely different team. And unfortunately, they dropped this one 4-2 to go down to 2-3 on the season. You want to see a little bit better performance, especially at home. I mean, the first game of the season, you come out strong, and it just sucks that, I mean, St. Norbert really flipped the script. They really did. I don't know what they talked about. The head coach, great job talking to his boys and figuring out what they needed to change. And they did everything right. The defense really stepped up for St. Norbert, and offensively the Pointers just could not get anything going. They had a lot of shot attempts in that third period compared to that second one where they only had 2. And it just really shows how elite St. Norbert's defense was. So going into that next game against River Falls, the Pointers got to change it. And we'll see what happens as we go on with the season, Jacob.
I mean, you got to give the Pointers credit. They were heading into this matchup knowing that St. Norbert was a top 5 nationally ranked team. It's a non-conference opponent out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. And to be honest, while they started strong, I mean, St. Norbert plays at a top level in their conference, and they competed the rest of the game defensively. And you could say there was credit to their defense or a lack of play on the Pointers offense, but for any fans that are discouraged, I do have to remind you that we are very early on in the season. I have been here for, this is now my 4th year, my senior year, and I haven't seen a lot of super strong starts from the Pointers squad. Typically, they really pick it up come January. Obviously, we're 2 months removed from that. And aside from that, the Pointers are looking ahead to their next matchup, which is this Friday back here at KB Willet, their first conference game in the WIAC, taking on the UW River Falls Falcons. As for now, the St. Norbert Green Knights advance to 4-1, and the Pointers fall below 500 to 2-3. We thank you all for tuning in. Once again, I have been Jacob Spoerl with Brett McNamara. Thank you to our crew as well, Raegan, VanWagner, and Lexi Hall. Stick around this Friday at 7 p.m. We got another live broadcast brought to you on 90 FM, as well as Pointer Studios here on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, and have a good night.